I feel like a point guard has to control everything. You know, it starts with me.
NBA Elite 11. In 2010, EA decided to make some changes to its NBA Live series, more than would be expected for the typical yearly installments. As we all know, the EA sports games are basically the same game every year with tons of microtransactions. To reflect these changes that were made, the series was planned to be renamed NBA Elite. However, the first game in a hopeful line of these was delayed and eventually cancelled due to quality reasons. Some copies of the game did make their way to the public, but are incredibly rare, selling up to and beyond $25,000. The game was known for having a lot of glitches and didn't control great, so even if you did manage to get your hands on a copy, it's not worth the money you would spend on it. To be honest, if someone gives you a copy for free, it's not worth the money you spent on it. Inca War. Back in 2007, Peruvian game developer Luis Grimaldo released a real-time strategy game for PC called Inca War. On his website, a version of the game was released with a campaign called Inca Empire, so it's pretty obvious, combined with the imagery and the sounds in the game, that the developer's Peruvian heritage played a large role in the inspiration of the game. The only existing footage of the game was uploaded to Grimaldo's YouTube channel in 2008, and outside that, only a handful of screenshots have surfaced. The developer used the very ambitious tactic of developing his own graphics platform for the game to run on, and at one point the game even had LAN support. The way this game used to be playable was to download off Grimaldo's website, which no longer exists, and with his website went the only means of playing Inca War. LJN Video Art. LJN Video Art is exactly what it sounds like. Video art. More specifically, it was a game console designed with the purpose of drawing and coloring. Though the various design flaws and overall low quality made the console not sell well, and in the modern day it's rather obscure. Or at least it was until the angry video game nerd made a video reviewing the console. While the actual console status as lost media is debatable since various pre-owned ones are bought and sold regularly, the cartridges are harder to find.
3 days later.
Apparently someone just had to ruin my lost media video by putting some eBay listings of all the cartridges up while I was writing the script. I'm still gonna leave this entry in the video because to my knowledge there's still only one of each cartridge out there, but they're certainly not as rare as previously thought, and as such they only barely count as lost media. DirecTV Game Lounge. Back in 2007, DirecTV partnered with the Game Show Network and released a rather revolutionary subscription service called Game Lounge. Users who had paid for the service would get access to a fairly large library of games, including but not limited to Yahtzee, Monopoly, 3 SpongeBob games, a Powerpuff Girls game, Skip-Bo, 2 Flapjack games, and the most notable one, Bejeweled 2, as that seems to be the game for which the most footage exists. Since the service was discontinued in 2013, all games playable through the service are lost, and it's very unlikely DirecTV would bring the service back and all of its playable games back. Because of this, many games playable through the service only exist in the form of a title, as footage and screenshots are incredibly rare to come by. Oh boy. This is probably the one you've been waiting for me to talk about. Or maybe it isn't, since just about everyone has made a video about it at this point. But the story behind this is so strange I couldn't leave it out of the video. The game's only evidence to support its existence is a listing in the mail-order game service magazine Play It Again in 1989, and later that same year Funko also listed it. So then the question immediately comes to mind. What if someone tried to order the game? What would they get in the mail? Well, unfortunately, we may never know the answer to that. No one has come forward saying they bought Yeah Beebiss back in 1989. So then, why don't we get into some theories on what the game actually is? The most popular explanation is that it's a copyright trap. A game that doesn't exist that's used to see if other services were just copying Play It Again's list. Cartographers do this all the time with fake streets and landmarks, towns even. This would actually make sense, especially given the sketchiness of the magazine. Several game titles on that list are badly translated or were flat out cancelled before release. Yeah Beebiss is even out of order alphabetically. But the mistranslation theory isn't completely out of the question either. It's possible that Yeah Beebiss is simply a mistranslation of the Famicom game. Deep breath. Rai Rai Kyunchi's Baby Kyunchi no Amida Daibuken. Because Rai Rai sorta sounds like Yeah and Baby sounds like Beebiss. Yeah, I don't tend to buy that one because it's a bit of a stretch, but because of how few leads there seem to be, it's not likely we'll ever know what this game is, or if it exists anytime soon. And with that, thanks for watching, and have a good one.